nationally. He's on frequent government talk shows and national news. Will you please give a outrageously loud welcome to Matt Kibbe.
How you guys doing? So I think it's actually clearing up out here. What do you think?
We're not sure.
Hey, let's give a hand for our legislative champions, would we?
Yeah.
No pressure, but guess what? It's up to you guys now. I was thinking about this coming down this morning. You know, it's been about 5 years we've been fighting Obamacare. And you remember when we first started gathering in opposition to a Wall Street bailout in 2008. And just last week, the Congressional Budget Office, which used to tell us that Obamacare would save money, estimates that now the bailout for insurance companies that will eat the excessive cost of Obamacare is already at $1 trillion. Makes the Wall Street bailout seem like peanuts. And we're only getting started. And I think about what we did in 2009 when we started gathering these protests, this federal takeover of everything that we hold dear. And then Nancy Pelosi posted that bill online and said, "I'm not afraid of August." And we did something that Washington never does, right? We read the bill. And we read it as a community, and we shared it with each other. And we told our friends and our family we have to show up. And we did in August in 2009. In a historically unprecedented way. I thought we had killed Obamacare on that day. But they kept marching forward. And then in 2010, we made it very clear to the American people who were against Obamacare by majorities ever since the day it was introduced that this would not stand, but they jammed it through anyway. And we beat the Democrat in Massachusetts, replaced him with a Republican. Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi pushed forward anyway. And then came November 2010. I was certain, after the votes had been counted, that we had beat Obamacare. Didn't you guys think so?
Yeah.
It's as if Washington doesn't care. I don't want to shock you guys. It's as if Washington's not going to do this for us. And you remember my good friend Senator Ted Cruz from Texas.
Yeah.
And his colleague Senator Mike Lee from Utah. They proposed this crazy idea last October. They said there's not a single person in Washington, D.C. that believes Obamacare is working. So why would we go forward? And they did anyway. President Obama has rewritten, delayed, subsidized, reorganized, exempted various interests over 20 times so far. Nobody noticed in all of these changes last November when he expanded the amount that you guys will have to pay in a bailout of insurance companies that have joined the exchanges. Today, over 5 million people have lost the insurance that they were promised they could keep. Only about 2 million people have been covered under the exchanges. Think about that. Twice as many people have already lost their insurance that have been covered by Obamacare. And yet we march forward. Economists estimate now that over 30 million people will lose their coverage under Obamacare. The cost, if you have decided to comply with Obamacare, on average has gone up already 41%. 41%. And we're only getting started. Is this the hope and change we were promised? No.
Well, we don't know.
And yet Washington marches forward. I hate to put this burden on you guys, but I think we're going to have to do it for ourselves. Stop it now! Stop it now! Stop it now! Now I happen to be a big state rights guy. How about you guys?
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some confusion about this. Because the rights are with us, the people. Amen. And you go back and listen to the founders when they told you that someday you would have to step up. George Washington talked about the sacred fire of liberty and that burden on each of us to defend it in future generations. Thomas Jefferson was a little more blunt. He said the only sure reliance in defense of our liberty is the American people. Are you guys ready to do that job? Yeah. 36 states have refused to implement the exchanges. 21 states have refused to accept the short-term Medicaid funding. Today, South Carolina starts the process of saying, we will not comply. I'm so honored that you guys included me, because someday we're going to look back and say that this is a day that we finally won this 5-year fight. And I'm amazed at how many people are willing to stand in the rain and fight for what's so precious about this country. Are you going to let Washington, D.C. stop you? A little bit of rain stop you? Each and every one of you need to make sure that your senators do the right thing and scrap this thing once and for all. Thank you guys so much.